Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, I'm going to be reviewing a rather obscure Kung Fu film again. And it's from my damn to-do list. Yes sirree. So, might as well I guess. I like reviewing old films from the past. And yes, it's quite low budget of course, obviously. The film I'll be reviewing today is the one titled the South Shaolin Master. And yes, this is going to be the unedited version. Not the dubbed version, but the unedited version. So, of course, as usual, folks, I do have to talk about the plot. So, let's just get into it, shall we? So, the story, the plot does begins with this rebel fighter. And, of course, he has this skillful fighting skills, of course, comes to the aid of let's just say this individual being assaulted by this so-called government thugs and whatnot. So the rebel was in town to deliver funds to some colleagues, of course. The thing is that, however, unfortunately, tricked and injured by some other thugs at the spot, the rebel himself is taken in by this character. His identity remains unknown to some of its members. So, of course, there's going to be some personal vendettas, of course, and some political thing going around, obviously, as the other character that was at the scene and the rebel eventually go to war against the this corrupted system forces, so to speak. And that's basically the rough summary of this story. So it's basically the little man going against the bigger individual whom has more influence than him. So this kind of a thing has been done before, the good guy must save the town, or in this case the village or whatever, because the person of power is doing some bad stuff. And of course, there's gonna be some parts where they have to fight the henchmen or whatever, of course. And obviously, something must be done, of course. So anyway, I would say, like I said, this is the unedited version, so that makes the entire thing even more delightful than I would expect. So there's many of the fight scenes, and a lot of these fight scenes are really well executed. There's a lot of it feels like a lot of energy that's been placed into it, of course. And the thing is that yes, the version I watched, the picture quality isn't that good. It looks like it was from the VHS tape era, of course. But that's the thing. I kind of like the fact that the quality isn't super high. It kind of gives it its own charm. Many of these martial art films I'm reviewing are really, really, really low budget anyway. So, hey, I ain't complaining. If you don't mind reading subtitles, I don't mind it. I'll say check out the unedited version, folks. The overall premise is pretty good, and the delivery of the concept is actually pretty good. I do appreciate the fact that, it doesn't take itself seriously, so that's a thumbs up for me. And that's the thing, I was never too into comedy kung fu films. I know I've said that before, but when it comes to comedic kung fu movies, for for some reason, I could never explain it really, but for some odd reason, they always wrote me the wrong reason. So I do appreciate the fact that movies like this, the kung fu movies like this one, that do take themselves seriously. So that's always a thumbs up in my book. So maybe just me, I guess. I just prefer them to be more serious. But anyway, the music's good. I like the music that was done here. Obviously, I like the music. It sets the mood. The pacing isn't too bad. The acting is quite good. And so yeah, the editing isn't too bad. The pace is really well done, of course, and I can say that the the way it was done, it was really entertaining in its own way. It's fast, it's violent, it's pretty fast paced, of course. Of course, I really like these action sequences the way they really are filmed here. This is how it should be done. And I like the fact that the fight scenes are incredibly well um they're incredibly well uh choreographed. They're really well choreographed. And I definitely think that's a good thing. The fight scenes are really nicely done. It is not choppy, folks. The editing is not choppy during the fight scenes, thankfully. So that's what I noticed in a lot of these old martial art films. They don't cut like after every move. There's a cut, then here, then here, then here. Um, and that's what I noticed from the more modern martial art films from nowadays. There's too many edits. There's far too many edits doing the action sequences in a lot of the modern martial art films. But a lot of the more older, obscure titles, they don't do that. You might see a fairly lengthy action sequence in one take, or maybe just a few cut edits here and there. Like the bare minimum, I suppose. And that's definitely a good thing there, folks. I like the fact they don't fuck it up with the action sequences. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing there, folks. Yes, sir. So but they do try to feature some weapons, of course, aside from the fists. There's some spears, there's some swords here and there, of course, which of course I do think is a pretty good thing. But I'm not going to give away too much, really, folks. But yeah, this does have a pretty solid production value in here, folks. So I don't want to overhype this film or anything, but I can say that this film it's worth watching. Definitely worth the watch. If you're gonna pick it up, find the unedited version, and if you don't mind watching the subtitles, and if you don't mind the pretty low quality, if you don't mind, that's fine. Or if you can find the higher quality one, that's fine too. So anyway, I'll give this film an overall rating of a 7.4 out of 10. It gets a 7.4 out of 10 for me. Check it out. As always, thanks for watching, and take care. Until next time. Oh yeah.